Fix this. Okay, there we go. All right. Whew. So that's right. You didn't miss anything. I was just saying, I'm so happy to be back. I'm happy to be more feeling like myself. So it was the jet lag is a real deal, and being able to get some good sleep and be back in my own bed was really good. So we did a little bit of gym. We did a little bit of trying to exercise, trying to just get the body moving again, and getting back to trying to get good sleep, which was great. We were so lucky on the second part of the cruise. The people who had the cabin before us had brought like a bed pad, like a foam pad, and then they left it. So we had a bed pad as part of our cabin request. And so we had like super squishy Princess and the Pea kind of a thing going on. It was really fabulous. So it was nice to be back in our own bed. And it's very nice to be feeling back to normal. So we worked in the yard this weekend. We ate blackberries from the garden. So happy that the blackberries waited. Some of them, my neighbors have 3 little kids, so I had sent them. I said, please go and eat the blackberries while we're away, because the more you pick them, the more they'll grow. And so they went a few times, but I'm so happy that there's still tons and tons of blackberries out there for us. So we're watching them ripen, and every day or so I can go out there and pick a handful. It's my favorite time of the year. So just really happy to be home and happy to be feeling back to myself. Now, we are still in the full moon energy. Hello, Sharon. I got to tell you, I'm so laughing. With Sharon and I were emailing last night. Sharon is getting ready to go onto the boat that I just came off of. So we gave her some messages for our friends that are on the ship and gave her some little insights there. But that is just the coolest thing ever, that she's getting ready to go on the boat that we just came off of. That is just so much fun. I know you're going to have the best time. So anyway, we're still in the full moon. This is a blue moon, which means it's the second full moon in the month. Okay. So when a month has 2 full moons, the second moon is called a blue moon, and it tends to have a little bit more intense energy. And this is actually the last blue moon for a couple of years. So we will not have another blue moon for, I think, maybe 2.5 years. So this is a really big deal. So if you didn't get a chance to get out and like bask in the moonlight and like have some moon glow on you, you know how we talk about getting out in the sun and getting that sunlight on your face. If you didn't have a chance to get out and bask in the moon glow and get the moon glow on your face, you really do want to try and do that, because it's really good for you. It's so good for being able to just clear the chakras and being able to just shift the energy, all the things. And this full moon was really so much about forgiveness, about being able to let go of things that are not serving you. I want to just come over here in case if there's some comments on Facebook to make sure we're not missing anything. Okay, I see you all. So this is a really important time. If you are still, and we talked about this before I left, but if you're still holding on to stuff that is like an anger or, look, if you can't fix it, if it's past, there's no going backwards. Okay. We can't go back. So if there's something that you are still holding on to, ask yourself, why am I still holding on to this? What is it about this? And very often the part that we're still holding on to is because we're waiting for something that is not going to happen. We're waiting for an apology. We're waiting for the other person to realize they done us wrong. We're waiting for the other person to come to their senses and fix the situation. When the reality is, the only person who's going to fix the situation is us. And that means either you're going to get involved in the situation with communicating with the other person, or going back to wherever that was to fix it yourself, which means owning your responsibility in it, or you're looking at it and saying you're going to demand that this person, you need to apologize to me. And, we all know how well that goes over. Okay. So If you're still holding on to something, ask yourself why, because so often those whys are connected to things like, I've been wronged, my moral outrage. Okay. And that's the part we're trying to let go of. A lot of times people say to me, well, I let go. I mean, I let go. It passed. It was in the past. I mean, it happened, whatever. But then you get them talking about it and you're still mad about it. And so if you're still mad about it, we really want to ask ourselves, well, what is it? So until you can come to a point where, now some of you who've been with me long enough have heard me talk before about the woman who was my best friend for my whole life. We were, ins and outs of life, and that, we were super close, and she would say lifelong best friend. And when I chose to really cut ties, I cut ties with her daughters, which break my heart, her mom, her brothers, that was it. It was the whole family. And I knew it. I knew that it was going to be, but when you're in the position where you make this decision because somebody is not treating you right, or you're being taken advantage of, or whatever the situation is, and you constantly go back to that situation because you constantly need to bring it up, or you go back to that situation every single time you talk about it, you're like, you're the one still holding on to stuff. Okay. Now I can say, because of the kind of the person that she is, for better or for worse, when I walked away, that was it. I'm dead. I'm dead to her. I'm dead to her family. And I knew that because I know her. And even though over the past, like her daughter's birthday was just, and I said nothing because I know that's not what she wanted. I had sent some pictures. I have some pictures for when her daughter was born that only I had, because I was the only one in the room. And I thought, you know what? I bet she would like them. And so I sent them. And I just said, I found these. I bet you would like them. I don't know if she ripped them up and threw them in the trash, but I didn't get a response, and I didn't expect a response. And I didn't send it to elicit some kind of response. I sent it because for all the things that were in that situation that made me want to walk away from a friendship of 40 plus years. Now, think about that. You walk away from a relationship that is your entire lifetime. There's a reason. Okay. Now, it may not be a reason she understands, or the other person understands, or anybody else on the other side understands, but it was the reason that was right for me. And so when you walk away from that, you know that there's like some heft. It's not like very flippant. It'd be like, oh, we've been friends for decades. Piss off. Right. That was definitely not it, because I gave up a lot, including my nieces, who I still love with every fiber of me. So I sent her these pictures because I wanted her to have them, because I love her and I love her family and I love them, my nieces. I love all of them. I wish them only joy and happiness. But the way the dynamic of the relationship was not something I could stay in. And that there was also no meeting ground. There was no way to come to the table to fix it. If there was, I would have kept trying, but I gave up trying because there was just no way to bring it to the table. And so when you can come to a place where you have, I'm past it, I'm over it, I let it go, and you say it with that tone of voice, you might not be. But when I say, I did this because I wanted to, and look, I'm not trying to be like, look how awesome I am. That's not what we're talking about. But I sent these pictures, and I think I'd sent something else too more recently. Anyway, not trying to get back in communication, not trying to elicit a response, not trying anything other than just saying, I thought I didn't want to throw them in the trash. I don't want to keep them because I don't need them. But I thought, where could they go? And so to do something nice for another person, regardless of the relationship, regardless of everything that's gone in the past, to be able to say, I bet this person would really appreciate it. Because when her daughter was born, their first daughter was born, they were living in Las Vegas and we were living in Los Angeles. And as soon as she went into labor, I was in the car. Okay. And I missed that child's birth by 10 minutes. And I was in the hospital. I came running down the hallway and she had been born 10 minutes later. 10 minutes earlier. So the first person to see her and her family, besides her parents and the medical staff, was me. And so I have pictures of those moments and no one else was in the room. I can't throw those away, but I don't want to keep them. I don't need to keep them. So I sent them where I thought they would be hopefully valued and appreciated. And if they're not, then they're not. But that's what letting go is about. That's what we talk about. We say, let go of holding on to these things. The relationship couldn't continue, but I hold zero ill will. I hold only love for all of them. Okay. And that's what we talk about when we say letting go. So, what is it that you say that you have let go of that maybe you're not being 100% honest with yourself? When you can get to the point where you can selflessly say, I want to do something nice for that person, and you may never get to, okay? She didn't kill my dog. She didn't do anything, some situations are truly, truly horrible. And yet we have the ability to find forgiveness in them. And so I'm not excusing what went on, because a lot of stuff went on. I'm not excusing it. I'm not negating it. I'm not saying, oh, it was no big deal. No, it was a huge big deal. That's why I ended the friendship. But I don't have to carry all the glut that goes with it. I don't have to carry all of the heavy and the anger and the frustration and the resentment and the grudgy and the, well, she did this and they did that. I don't need any of that. I don't need it. Okay. I need love and joy in my life. And I want that. And honestly, it made me feel happy to send pictures that I love to people I care about. Whatever she did with them, I mean, it's very likely she just put the whole envelope in the trash and never even opened it. And that's okay. That would be her choice. I did something because that was what I wanted to do. So again, while we're still in this full moon time, asking yourself, what am I still holding on to? Why am I still holding on to it? Why? And where can I bring myself to a place of just love? Because that's true freedom. That's where we are free, where I don't care what she thinks or says. And I know she says negative things about me, and that's okay. I don't care. It doesn't come into my space. I only wish them love. Okay. And that is, again, sometimes easy, sometimes not easy. And maybe your situation is so different from this, but what some kind of situation are you still holding on to? I met a young woman the other day who had a real major medical procedure at a young age. And now she's probably in her 30s. So maybe 6, 8, 10 years ago, and still holding on to the trauma of it. And so we ask ourselves, why? Why are we holding on to it? Now, in this particular situation, hadn't dealt with it, didn't know how to deal with it. Really, nobody gave her the support to realize there was something there that needed to be dealt with, because it was certainly more than having your appendix out. So sometimes we don't realize that there's a thing we need to deal with, and we don't know how to deal with it. And that's where, someone like me as a grief coach and a grief educator comes in. But asking ourselves why. What is it about this situation that I am still holding on to? And why? Am I waiting for some judgment, some retribution, some equilibrium, some revenge? Am I waiting for some magic pill to just make it all go away? I just assumed it would get better over time. I just figured I'd get over it one day. What is it? But we only get the answers to those questions if we are willing to ask the question, why am I still holding on to this? So we still have some time left in this full moon cycle. So I just wanted to put this out there. Let me say, correct that in saying I was asked to put this out, because this wasn't what I was going to talk about today. But this whole our Monday time is called channeled information. So I open my mouth to tell you things I think I'm going to tell you, and they go, nope, we want you to talk about this. So, and that's great, because we're happy to have. I'm very happy to have whatever come out that they would like to have shared. Here we are. So, okay. So let's grab some cards and let's get back up to speed. Let's get back to how we were, because I know we haven't had cards in such a long time. And I hope you all had a fabulous month without me. I don't mean it that way. I hope you missed me terribly. I hope you all had a great month. I'm sorry that we were away. No, that's not right either, because I'm not. I'm very sorry to have missed time with you. That is a true statement. I'm not sorry that we went away. I'm very sorry to have missed time with you. And if there was a way that we could have connected while I was away, that would have been so awesome and fun. I had in my mind of doing some lives while I was away, but honest to goodness, with the time difference, when I was doing a live, it probably would have been the middle of the night for half of you, most of you. So, and we were having so much fun. It just never I never thought, I should stop and be alive, do alive instead of staying present in the moment. So we stay present in the moment because that's really, that's what vacation is for. Okay. So I will post more pictures today or tomorrow. Really trying to catch up on some stuff, as I bet you can imagine. There is a lot to do. So I will get back to posting some pictures. I know some of the folks at the X asked me, they've been waiting for Switzerland and St. Moritz and the mountains, the Alps. Oh my gosh, the Alps, amazing, amazing, amazing. So, okay. So we know when we have the full moon, right? We know we're at the full moon, we're at the top of that cycle, right? We talked about that being the top of the Ferris wheel, right? So we have the full moon comes up to the top of the Ferris wheel where we can really take a look around and see what's going on, right? And so we've talked all about that. Take a look around and see what's going on. But now we're going to have, in the next couple of days, we're going to come into the waning moon. We're going to see that energy come back down to the bottom of the Ferris wheel where we get to get off and say, I'd like to get on a different ride. I'd like to set a different intention for this new month. I would like to, so we have 2 weeks to start thinking about, well, what is it I would like to manifest, create, welcome into my life? What was I like to fold into my life, right? We talked a lot this whole first half of the year about folding, right? Here we are, June, it's halfway through the year. What is it you wanted to accomplish in this 2026 year? What is it you were wanting to welcome into your life and fold into your life? It is halfway, not quite, because I know it's June 30th, but this is the time. So as you're looking around at the top of the Ferris wheel right now with the full moon, really start to give some thought to what was my intention for 2026? It is not too late. It's not too late. My girlfriend used to be very fond of saying, you can start a diet in the middle of a bag of potato chips. We can decide whenever we decide. Okay. There's no wrong time to say, I decided now is the time, because then that's the time, because that's when you're ready. So there's no wrong time. It's like, oh, I missed it, or it's too late for 2026. No, it isn't. You decide when you decide. And so what I'm saying is maybe now is the time for you to decide in this last blue moon of the next several years. Now, I did also want to make sure to double check, because we do have a couple other things that are coming up. Because there's a retrograde that's coming, but not for a little bit. When is that? I was just looking. Okay, so the end of July. Okay, so we've got a little bit of time. So retrograde at the end of July, which means we're going to start feeling it in the middle of July. Okay, so just tuck that away. We'll talk about it as we get a little closer. But just know, summer retrograde is so much about growth. So you ever hear that thing about how kids, they just shoot up like 5 inches over the summer because they're home and they're not under stress and they're relaxed and they're letting their stuff go and they're not pushed all about with school and homework and classes and friends and sports and obligations, right? Summer is a time when kids can relax, which is why their bodies go, oh, thank God, now we can put all this energy into growing, right? When we were in Portugal, we went and toured a pineapple plantation, which I was very excited about because we have pineapples that we grow and they usually come out to be, a good size. They're not grocery store size, but they're a good size. And one of the things that was so interesting was they talked about how in the pineapple plantation, they cut the leaves back to bring the plant in. One, it doesn't take up as much space, but two, now the plant is not wasting all this energy trying to grow these leaves. The plant is putting all that energy into growing the fruit. And I was like, well, of course it is. That is so smart. Why did I not think of that? So then there were some other great pineapple growing tips also, but there was, really the same thing for us. When we're putting all our energy into growing and managing and holding on to all this other stuff, we're not growing. So as we're looking at this full moon cycle, what are we letting go of? But also asking ourselves, what is it that we were wanting to accomplish for 2026? What is it that it was important that we were wanting to welcome into our lives, to create, to manifest, to fold in? What was it that we were thinking about in January? Because it's not too late for that. It's not. Okay, let's look at and see what's going on in the universe for all of us. I think I got a little dehydrated in Europe because I cannot stop drinking water. And just like I'm constantly thirsty right now. So I'm sure that's part of jet lag too, or the fact that it's 90 in Florida. So, what is the degrees? Oh, 86. My watch says 86. All right. What do we need to know about what's going on in the universe right now for all of us? Oh, truth. Okay, truth. So this is the card of truth. And what's so interesting is that truth is becoming truth has always been a real hot commodity, right? We had truth in advertising, truth in reporting, truth in how we speak to ourselves, to each other, all of those things. And then we have seen truth become this sort of volleyball in politics and in, partisanship. And it's like, oh, my truth, your truth, alternative facts, all these kinds of things. But what's so interesting is that because this is card 50. So it tells us we're in the middle of the road, the middle of the cycle, which is really interesting because, here at the end of this month, we have America's birthday, right? And so this is so much about truth coming in, truth coming out, truth being told, people waking up to truth, people realizing truth, people understanding that the truth is here. And it's here for us to receive it if we are ready to. And the truth is not, I don't want to talk about whether it's, real or facts or whatever. The truth is what we're ready to receive. Okay. So if you're not ready to receive about war and famine, then that's not your truth. And you're not looking for anyone else's truth. You're looking for your truth. What is true for you? What is going to be the most important part for you to understand? We can understand the whole global civilization. Does that mean we're supposed to act on it? No. The truth is what is true for you, of what is going to be most beneficial for you to help you move forward on your path in your highest and best good. So we're holding the orb of light. We're holding the orb of light with the wonderment of a child, with the love and the no judgment and the curiosity and the compassion and the discovery of a child. Okay. And we're saying, what is the truth for me? And if you look at this, it looks like she's speaking the truth into the world. She's speaking the truth. This light is coming out of her breath, is coming into the orb. That means that when we are willing to meet the world with the curiosity of a child, with the open heart of a child, we are able to speak truth, light, love, joy, power, happiness. And I say power, not like strength or political power, but the power of working in co-creation with the universe into the world. We have the power to change things. We have the power to change ourselves. We have the power to change what happens around us. Okay. Robert and I had, created and planned and manifested this trip. And you can read more about that in the newsletter that went out just, I think, yesterday. And the shift of we being able to plan this trip, save it, plan it, make it all work out. And it worked perfectly. And then who we became in that process and how it's allowed us to go forward and keep creating things is an amazing shift that continues and continues and continues because we are continuing to grow and evolve. And this is what happens when we start to focus on the truth that is the truth for us in our place in the universe, rather than worrying about, oh, you're not in the right truth. That's not the truth. You're the truth of you. No, that's not how I see it. Okay. To stay in our lanes and to continue in that co-creation, collaboration with the universe to find the thing that is, and it's not that something is true or false. We're not talking about facts and fictions or opinions. But the part of the puzzle that is the thing that you need right now, we don't need all of it. We don't need the whole grocery store. We just need the things on our own list that we went into the store to get. Okay. Stay in our lane. We only need the part that is relevant for us to move forward on our path. We don't need all of it. So don't feel like you need to have all of it. Okay. Okay. So then what else? Where are our hiccups? What else do we need to know about this? And this is compassion, but it is upside down. But this is 12. So 1 and 2 is 3. And 3 is, we know there's more to that story, right? So this is compassion. It's upside down. It says, hey, listen, while we're focusing on what's true for us and how we're going to move forward, we want to make sure that we're looking out for the other guy. We don't take our truth and use it to stomp on other people or other situations. We stay in our lane. We use our truth to help make the world a better place. We use our truth to help make our lives better, which then frees us up to help make the world a better place. Okay. So we focus on here, right? Like concentric circles. We get our own, or Maslow's hierarchy of basic needs. We get our own things handled first, and then we're able to go out to the neighbors and then out to the town, the city, the county, the state, whatever. So we start local and we expand. Okay. So compassion, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing weak. about having compassion. And again, it doesn't mandate anything for us. It's just talking about how we show up in the world, how we treat each other, and how we are going forward and working in our truth does not mean that we forget about the others or that we are supposed to leave others in the dust. Because that rising tide lifts all the boats, right? And so we take others with us as we go. We also become a light for others to follow. We give others permission to come along on the journey. And that's a big part of compassion, allowing others to come with you. No, this is just for me. You can't come too. Now, that's not to say you could come in my suitcase on the cruise ship. You could not. But that's really more of customs and space and, kind of other rules that are not mine. But we can take others with us by example, by love, by compassion, by so many different ways. Okay. All right. What else do we need to know about what's going on in the world right now? Peace. Peace is possible. Peace is possible. Give peace a chance. Here we are on June 6th. Where the heck are we? Oh my gosh. June 1st, Pride Month. Happy Pride. Okay. So this is peace. And this is 37. I love this card 37. This is peace. 3 and 7 is 10. We are complete. We are complete. And the peace that we seek starts with us first. We start with peace inside of ourselves. We're not going to find peace outside of us, external to us. We're not dependent on someone else to bring that to us. Peace comes from ourselves. And I love the story that this is telling, because when we are speaking our truth and we are living our lives in the light of the truth that is right for us, and we are having compassion for those who are around us, including ourselves, we bring ourselves to a place of peace. And we create that bubble that cavitates out for others to be able to find their peace as well. Peace comes from us first. And if you look at this, you see that it's emanating from him. It's emanating from him. And this is 37. Okay. So 3 tells us there's more to the story. 7 tells us there's a change in direction. And 3 and 7 or 10 tells us we are complete. We are enough. There's nothing missing from us. We're not broken. We're not wrong. We're not deficient in some way. We are children of divine light and love, and we are perfect exactly as we were created, because we were created exactly as we were meant to be for this particular journey. Okay. That we came here to have intentionally. We chose to be here. Okay. And so peace comes from within. Peace comes from us. Okay. We start with ourselves and then we can help others. Was that thing, put the oxygen mask on yourself first and then you can put it on other people? Right. All right. Let me grab the Malachim cards. Let's grab our angel cards and see what's going on with those. What the angel cards are written in English, Hebrew, and Arabic, and they are designed to help us. They're overlaying concepts that go over the cards that we've just discussed and the ideas that we just discussed to help us go a little bit deeper in our thought process, a little bit deeper in what we're thinking about. So we've got luck, mazel. We've got luck. We say mazel tov, good luck. Right? Congratulations. And we have surprise. We have surprise. And that tells us that the more we can do these things, the more we'll have good luck, because we're creating our luck by working in co-creation with the universe. And at the same time, we'll have good luck, and it gives the universe permission to surprise us. So when we can stay in that place of peace comes from within, peace starts with us, then we have the opportunity to have peace inside. We create more luck. The universe can surprise us more. Now, I see that comment from Sharon. Sometimes I think I make lousy choices. And, I think that I think it's an easy thing to say. I made a mistake. Okay, we made a mistake. I made a bad choice. Okay, I made a bad choice. Maybe I didn't make the best choice for the moment. But all we can ever do is make the best choice in the moment that we can with the information and the abilities that we have. Okay. That's all we can ever do. Did you make the best choice that you were able to make in the moment with the information and the skills and abilities that you have? If you're able to make the best choice if you made the best choice that you were able to make in that moment with the information, the situation, and the abilities that you have, then you made the best choice. Okay. And does that mean that it's all going to be sunshine and lollipops? No, it does not. Does working in collaboration with the universe and in co-creation with the divine mean we're never going to have hiccups, speed bumps, difficulties, challenges, tragedies? Nope. I wish it did. Nope. It does mean that we are supported, lifted, and not alone when those things happen. And so if you feel like you have made a lousy choice, to be able to say, where did I go off the track there? What could have done better? And understanding that sometimes we have to go through Candyland has just now popped into my head. You know, the game Candyland? Because sometimes we have to go through the gumdrop forest of, I don't remember, that's like mucky and muddy and like the molasses swamp, because we need to learn some stuff. And then once we're in the molasses swamp, then we get stronger, or we made a friend, or we learned something we needed to learn, so we can leave the molasses swamp, and then we can make a better decision when we go out that way. Okay. So sometimes those detours or those places where we've made a lousy choice was because we weren't ready for the next step on the path that was the good choice, right? That we needed to be conditioned, groomed, strengthened, educated, wizened, something, so that when we were presented with that choice again, we would be ready to make the right one. Okay. So we don't blame ourselves. We don't keep beating ourselves up. That is definitely a thing we can let go of. If you go back to the beginning of the video, what we were talking about, that's definitely a thing we can let go of. But we ask ourselves, how can I do better next time? How can I do better next time? How can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? Because beating ourselves up serves zero purpose whatsoever. Okay. Now, we don't let ourselves off the hook if we've harmed someone else, or if we've hurt someone in something, or we were unkind in some way. Please do apologize, make amends, share your thoughts. I'm sorry. It was a rough day. I jet lag. I didn't mean to be curt. I'm so sorry. Something. Okay. But we don't need to continue to blame ourselves. And we say, oh, if I think I make lousy choices, please, universe, angels, guides, loved ones, and spirit, help me make better ones. Show me the path where the light is, so I can make a better choice next time. And we leave all that stuff in the past and we go forward. Yes? All right, let's shift into individual card readings for you all fabulous people. For all the fabulous people. For all the fabulous people. All right, so you know the deal. If you would like to have an individual card read for you, just put me, something. I would like a card, something in the comments, and we'll get to as many people as we can. Okay? Okay. Okay. I forgot, though, we're on StreamYard. I could have put some comments up on the thing. So let me see. So here, Sharon had said sometimes she makes lousy choices. I think that's not true. And Janie, hello, Janie. And hello, Noor. And then Noor come to Sharon has asked for a card. All right. So I like this. Hi, Nancy Olivo. New friend. All right. So Sharon, I'm so excited that Sharon is going to go. We just were on the Explorer of the Seas, and now Sharon's going to be on the Explorer of the Seas. That makes me so happy, having spent 24 days on this. Leadership. Sharon, this card is leadership. It's 30. Let me put this down so you can see it. Leadership. This is card 31. So that's 4. Okay. I think this is very, very interesting, Sharon, that this card is the card that is called for with you when we were just talking about your previous comment about thinking that you made poor choices or lousy choices, your words, not mine. That this is 31. 3 tells us, again, there's more to the story, right? 1 tells us the beginning of a new journey, and 3 and 1 is 4, which 4, you've heard me say 100 million times. There's 4 legs of the chair, 4 legs of the table. 4 is telling us that we are being supported, right? That you are not alone. But what's so interesting about this card is, Sharon, you and I have talked about your leadership abilities on more than one occasion, but this is about being a lighthouse, not being a spotlight. And anybody who follows Jess Ekstrom, who is a young woman who teaches about speaking and opportunities for women. She talks about, and she's got a TED Talk, you can look it up. She talks about being a lighthouse speaker where you're shining the light on others. You're shining the light for others to help others to go forward instead of being a spotlight speaker where it's all about yourself and shining the light on yourself. And so this is very interesting because this is the card of leadership, Sharon, that's talking about being a lighthouse. So you do you to the best of your ability and know that others, that you are paving the way and you are shining a light for others to make less lousy choices or to learn from your experiences, to learn from your, hey, what are you doing back there? Sorry, my dog is being weird. To learn from the things that you have gone through, the path that you have walked, and use that to be able to help other people. Okay. So leadership for Sharon. All right. We have Chris. Yes, you can have a card. Absolutely. All right. So for Chris, we have acceptance. Very interesting. So this and I have to say, this is card number 2, but this was upside down. Okay. So I want to say to you, I'm asked to say to you from this card, you don't have to sit and wait on the status quo. You don't have to sit and wait for things to come to you, that it is okay for you to go out and grab what you want. Okay, so this is card number 2. So this is telling you, one, you're not walking alone. You're paired with someone else in the spirit side or angel guide. And I think you and I can make a list of who those folks might be that we know are always walking with you. But this is about claiming your space. This is about taking up a little bit more space, claiming your space and saying, I deserve to be here. I deserve to have my life, to live with joy, with largerness, biggerness. But this is so much about saying, I am not going to accept, because remember, this is upside down. I'm not going to accept the small little piece. May I have some more? Okay. I'm willing and ready to stay. I'm going to claim more. I'm ready to be seen. I'm ready to be, expand. Okay. So they're sharing with you that this is a season of expansion that's coming in for you. Okay. Season of expansion, but they're saying, don't resist it. Okay, don't resist it. Don't play small. Time to play bigger. Time to play bigger. Okay. Hello, 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 hello. All right. For Janie, we have light. Love this. So this is card 32, which tells us we're in the crossroads, Janie. We're in the little middle of a space here. But this is light. This is telling you that regardless of the choices that you're making right now, they're all the right ones. Okay, there's not a wrong move to be made here, that this is a place for you to say, what's going to make me happiest? What's going to bring me joy on this journey? What's going to bring me joy in the next space of my journey, Janie? This is, journey, Janie. What is going to bring you joy in the next space of your journey? And because they're showing that this is the crossroads, because this is 32, right? So 3, more to the story to be revealed. 2, we're not walking alone. We've got love, light, spirit, angels, guides, all of those folks with us. But what is the thing that's going to bring me the most joy, that's going to help me to move forward on my path? Because following the thing that's going to bring me the most joy is the thing that's going to help you move forward on your path. Okay. So follow the light, follow the light. All right. Ellen. Hello, Ellen Jane. All right. Let's see. Yes, Michelle, I see you. Sharon says, we're going to jump, coming back to Ellen. Sharon says, I edit the synagogue newsletter and I do my best to make each submission sound good in the sender's voice. I have 2 proofreaders who help with grammar and punctuation. Awesome. Very cool. I just check in. Michelle made a comment. Let's see. Okay. I always like to scroll the bottom, make sure we don't get any spammers that come in. Michelle, I do see your comment comes through from YouTube. Hello from YouTube. All right. And then Chris also said, very interesting. I was just talking to someone about starting to do outreach to cold contacts to find new clients. Okay. Thank you for the card telling you you're good to go there. I think that's fantastic. I love confirmation cards. All right. So back to Ellen Jane, and then we have Nancy and Michelle after that. So we have Ellen. This is miracles. So this is 34, 3 and 4. We talked about 3. We talked about 4. 3 and 4 is 7. Tells us it's a shift in direction, change in direction. Now, when we talk about change in direction, we look at 7. We see it goes across, it comes down. And so sometimes people interpret this as like, right? No, it is not the crash and burn sign. Okay. It is 7 tells us it's a change in direction. Okay. So sometimes we get to a place where we got to stop and make a turn. Okay. And so this is telling you that Ellen, this is a time for change in direction. Okay. But it's telling you that, so if you look really carefully, you can see we're leaving the safe port. Okay. Right. We're in the arch. We're inside the arch. The ship has sailed. The ship is sailing. Get on board. But we can see storm clouds on the left and the right. But look where the ship is going. The ship is going right down the middle into the light. The clouds, the cherubs. Look, there's cherubs up there. Okay. There's cherubs up there that are leading and guiding the ship. So trust in the journey, first of all. Okay. But also trust that you are going to be led and guided on where to go, following in that heart's desire. Listen, you guys, I can't say you folks, I don't like to say you guys, folks, I can't say enough about the importance of following your heart's desire, following the thing that brings you joy. That is such a powerful energy in the universe. And the more that we follow the things that brings us joy, the more we're staying in light, the more we're staying in the path, and the more we're staying in the power. Okay. So please follow the light, follow the cherubs. There's cherubs in the light. Okay. So Ellen, this is talking about following your own path, but understanding that there's probably a change in direction that needs to happen, which means you're going to want to not necessarily keep following someone else's path. You're going to want to make that turn to follow someone else, to follow the path that's right for you, and know that it's okay. Okay. You don't have to, we can do that without being like, I'm out of here. Okay. We can say, listen, I see where you're going and that's really awesome, but I think it's more right for me right now to go in this direction. Okay. We can absolutely choose our own path. Okay. Choose the thing that's right in your heart. Right. Okay. All right. So we have Nancy Olivo, our new friend. And then we have Michelle, and more comments will be coming. All right. So Nancy, this card is transformation. That's very interesting, isn't it? 49 is the card number. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 1 and 3 is 4. So we come back to 4. All right. So Nancy's new, so I want to make sure I explain this. So we add 4 and 9 together. 4, we talked about the legs of the chair or the table. We are being supported. We have a strong foundation to stand on. 9 is an interesting number that doesn't come up that much. It's the end of a journey, the end of a chapter, and that does kind of align with some of the stuff we were talking about. And so you have 4 and 9 together. So you have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13, you have 1 and 3 is 4, takes you back to 4. You are being supported in your transformation. Okay. This is a time of great change for you. This is a time of new opportunities, new doors, new passions, new lifestyles, that this is a time of real transformation for you, and they're asking for you to embrace it. They're telling you with that 4 number that says the past is done, and we don't ever forget. We don't forget. We don't walk away from. We hold on to the joy and the love and all those things. But this is telling you that we are going to support you as you go forward into becoming this new person, into embracing this new life. So it's interesting because it feels like a real confirmation card to some things that we had talked about before. All right. I love confirmation cards. I love confirmation cards because it reminds you that you are on the right path. All right. Hello, Stacy. Hello. All right. We have Michelle. Hello, Michelle. I can see. Card, please, Michelle. Oops, up here. Card, please, Michelle. There you are. All right. I was trying to go in order. All right. So we have Michelle. This is joy. Michelle, this is joy, but this card is 30. Okay. This says there's more to the story. Where are you not letting joy in? Where are you not letting yourself dance in the streets? Where are you not allowing yourself to follow your heart and follow your passion? Okay. Because this says there's more to this story here. This is 30. It says 3. There's more going on here. So Michelle, really want to ask you, where is the place where we're feeling self-conscious? Where is the place where we're feeling like I'm not ready to fully embrace the joy in my life? And they're saying, hey, we want to fully embrace the joy in our life. Okay, this is really important because when we are, and this is a conscious choice, we can easily, all of us can easily focus on the war and the gas prices and the economy and the heat and climate change and da. We could absolutely, and we would think ourselves and focus ourselves under the bed. But we can also choose to focus on the joy because all that stuff is happening. And we are not as single individuals, we are not the ones who have the power to stop it. Okay. However, we can be informed and involved and give to organizations with our time and our dollars and show up and do those things. Absolutely. But it's very easy to let that teeter-totter get out of whack where we're only into the drama and the trauma. And it's our important obligation to ourselves and to the raising the vibration of ourselves, those around us, and humanity in general, that we focus on the joy, because we could absolutely go down the rabbit hole of death and despair and destruction and all the things. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. That is definitely not fixing anything. It's not. So when we make this choice to say, I am choosing to stay in joy. Yes, I know there's more to the story. Yes, I know there's more going on. Yes, I know I can't fix it all, but I can do my part to raise the vibration, to raise my vibration, to share my joy with others, and know that that is only going to increase the abundance and blessing in my own life and help keep me on my path to go forward to my highest and best good. And that's what's going on there for Michelle. All right. So then we have Stephen, my pal. My pal. All right. So here we have playfulness. Now, this is interesting because I know it's been a month, it's been 5 weeks, but this feels familiar to me, Steve. Playfulness, this is 38. So 3 we've talked about, more to the story. 8 we've talked about before, about the infinity symbol, having lots of time, plenty of time. And also with 8, we've been here before. Okay, we've been down this road before. 8 tells us we're seeing it from, I think of 8 like a spiral staircase. We've been here before, right? And so 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 is the 2 and 2 partnership pair bonded number. Okay, so this is about playfulness. And so this is also going to be about recapturing the joy in the relationship. This is going to be about recapturing the silliness, the joy. It does not have to be serious and facts and figures, and you do something silly. Maybe go play mini golf, or are we adopting a puppy? Are we adopting a dog? I don't know, but it's something that is playful and joyful that is coming into the space, and that what they're talking about is the allowing of it, allowing of the playfulness and the joyfulness to come to the space. Interesting. All right. We have Catherine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have Catherine. Hello. Hello. Live from Typhoon Lagoon. Well, that is playful for sure. I mean, you can't get more playful than that. Steve says that they are actually at Typhoon Lagoon. So he gets a lot of confirmation cards. Stephen does. So, I mean, there you go. Confirmation card. Michelle says, thank you. Nancy says, spot on. Ellen says, thank you also. And we've got Catherine. Catherine, I see you. I think you're up next. Let me see. Yes, Catherine is up next. And then we have Stacy. Howdy, Stacy. All right, Catherine. So, Typhoon Lagoon. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. I love it. Catherine Johnson, strength. This is card 46. So 4 and 6 is 10. So 4, we've talked about the 4 legs of the chair and the table, right? 6 is about birthing something new, creating something new, bringing something new into the world. And so this is a strength card. Look at her. She's riding on that dragon. Okay. So this is the strength card that says, listen, that Catherine, you are stronger than you think, and it is okay for you to claim your space. It is okay for you to stand in your power and say, this is what I want. This is what I don't want. And if you don't like it, I'm going to stick my dragon on you. No, that's not what we're talking about. But it's okay, Catherine, to stand up and say, this is what I want. This is what I need for myself right now. And to be able to say, I choose to fly free on a dragon or not, but I choose to follow my path. Okay, this card is about, this card is so much about independence and following your own path and blazing your own trail. Okay, so this card is very, very much about, and plus I love it, it's so beautiful. I just think this card is so beautiful, but this is so much about your independence and claiming your own space. Okay, all right, so we had Jamie says thank you, and Stacy says howdy, and asking for a card. And then I think, all right, we've got Stacy. Yay. All right, here we go. All right, Steve says we're not getting a dog. That's kind of bummer, but that's okay. All right, so we'll come back to that in a second. Inspiration, Stacy. Inspiration. I love this card. Look how pretty. Isn't it gorgeous? Inspiration. Inspiration can come anywhere. Inspiration can come at any time, anywhere, and whenever we are open to it. Now, this is card number 2, which tells us at 29, it tells us we are not walking alone. 2 and 9, we just talked about 9, about the end of a journey. So this is 11. Okay, it tells us we are not walking alone. Okay, so where we have Stacy, we are not walking alone, but this is a new journey, a new adventure for you. This is something new that's coming your way. It may already be here. Something new that you're creating or that you're welcoming, you're helping to be part of, that you are going to be helping to make an energy shift in the world. Now, please don't feel like, oh, that's such a big statement. Okay, it could just be your own energy shift. Okay, when we talk about making energy shifts in the world, because we all make those, like the ripples on the pond, right? You make your own and then things cavitate from there. But Stacey, this is talking about really allowing yourself to be open to soul's growth and to something new that's trying to be formed through you, with you, alongside of you. Oh, hang on, please. I got to sneeze. Excuse me. Okay. So Stacey, this is asking you to have some courage, but it's asking you to have some openness to say, what is it? Because sometimes these things, that there are these sparks of inspiration, we think to ourselves, wait a minute, that's not me. I'm not supposed to do that. And maybe you are, and maybe you aren't, but maybe you're also the conduit for the person that you say, you know, I think I'm supposed to connect this idea with somebody else, someone else who has the ability to suss it out more, someone who can carry the ball. Sometimes we are the message carrier. We may not be the producer. Okay. So we're not trying to put pressure, but understanding that there's something new that is trying to come through to get you to think in a different way. And they're asking you to have a little trust in the universe. Not a bad thing to do. All right. So we have, all right. Steven says we're at Typhoon Lagoon. No, they're not getting a dog. It's a bummer, but give me a call, text me. You know how to make an appointment. If anybody wants a full reading for themselves, you just let me know. We'll get you on the calendar. All right. So Catherine says, brilliant. Thank you. You are so welcome. Stacy, yes, love that. Bless you. Thank you very much for my Gesundheit. Fantastic. All right. Fantastic. I think we got everybody. All right. So we're going to do one more card, as is my, the way I like to do it is have one more card that we can have for the collective. So we just kind of tie it all together. Where is the message from the universe that helps us tie all this stuff together? And that is upside down, but it is the healing card. And the healing card is 29. The healing card is 27. My bad. 27 up there in the corner. So the healing card is 27, but it was upside down. Okay. So when it says upside down, it says, hey, we're not paying attention to this. But the healing card says, hey, we're coming into a time of healing, but this is, again, a conscious choice. We can stay in the drama and be the drama mama llama people, or we can say, no, we're going to come and shift our energy. We have so much more power. And right now, all the news and the noise wants to make us feel like we're not. We are so much more powerful than we think. And so we have the ability to heal ourselves, heal our friends, our neighbors. We can't change anybody's mind. That's not what we're talking about. Okay. We're healing energy. We're healing our own hearts. And sometimes we heal our own hearts with people we disagree with by saying, I love you over there. Way over there. Okay. But the healing is up to us. And this really goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning. What is it we're holding on to? When, why? Asking ourselves, what is it we're holding on to and why? Okay. So this is the healing. It is up to us. It is our choice. 27, 2 and 7 is 9, right? Pair bond, right? Not walking alone. We always have angels, guides, loved ones, and spirit are always with us. And that 7 is that change in direction. It is up to us to change our direction, change our energy, change our focus, change our own minds. 2 and 7 is 9. The days of the, woe is me, are over. The universe is telling us it's over, right? It's time for us to heal ourselves so that we can help to raise the vibration of the planet, raise the vibration of the earth, and change the direction of humanity. You've heard me talk about this before. Humanity right now is in the throat chakra. Everything is loud and yelling and screaming, and I need to be heard, and I need to be seen, and you need to hear what I mean, and you need to understand why I'm right? Humanity's evolution is in the throat chakra right now. We don't have to scream. We don't have to scream. We just heal. We raise our vibration. We come from a place of love. We radiate and emanate love. And that will create the healing and will shift eventually humanity from the throat chakra into the ears, where we can finally start listening to each other. And that's hopefully what's next. And God willing, it's hopefully coming soon. I am so happy to be back with you. I have missed you all so much. Thank you for spending some time with me on a Monday afternoon. Thank you so much for allowing me into your space, to being part of our community of light. You are loved. I've missed you all. I've missed our time together. I'm so glad to be back. Thank you so much. And I will see you next week. Always remember how very much you are loved. Mwah.